about that millage renewal for 9.6 mills. Also, the school board has several renewals. There's a 12.06 for 10 years. There's a construction district 62 renewal for 10 years, 4.27 mills. Another one for 4.25 mills. Pineville School District has a renewal for 10 years, 6.96 mills. And then the Poland School District, they have 3 renewals that are up. And then finally, there's the Gravity Drainage District number 2. They have a 10 mil renewal. So depending on where you live will determine which ones you'll vote on. The parish-wide is for law enforcement, so for the sheriff's office, and then also that 12.06 mills renewal for the school board. So other than that, it depends on where you live. All right. Hope that's not too confusing. I'm confused. Always. But yeah,
I'm definitely confused.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I understand people don't have a lot of money. Everything's kind of expensive, and wages may not be going up the way you want it to, but these are just basic services that we kind of have to provide for in central Louisiana. So you kind of hope for the best.
Speaking of which, they're saying that inflation has topped 4% for the first time in 3 years due to gasoline prices, which are starting to come back down now. So hopefully but not ideal news for the Republicans going into the election. Although it's interesting because it seems like the votes in that direction are meant more to punish. But then when you look at what you vote for in punishment, do you not kind of make it worse on yourself? So I don't know. That's just kind of the way I think about it. But others may feel differently.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough one. I mean, I don't know what the midterms are going to look like. It's not... The atmosphere isn't great for the incumbent party, it seems like, historically, but you just never know, honestly, these days.
Yeah, but
you never know.
The other side is, like, what are the Democrats really offering? I mean,
no, I know. I'm just saying, you're for the shallow American voter, they're going to say, well, it's not working. Let's go the other way.
Yeah, the Babylon Bee had another banger the other day that I kind of laughed at. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, here it is. Republicans announced plan to keep doing the opposite of what everyone voted for them to do. So true.
Yeah.
All right, we'll be right back.
Taking part in the show is easy. Call the BOM Bank Talk Line at 442-8255.
A man's word should still mean something. Honesty matters. Character matters. So when John Fleming was hauled into court twice in 2 months for running untruthful ads filled with lies and twice forced to take down the lies, that tells you everything about who Fleming really is. Fleming's lies couldn't hold up before a judge, and his lies shouldn't hold up with you. Fleming hasn't just been lying in his ads. He's been lying to cover up his liberal record. Fact. In Congress, Fleming voted against Republican border security funding. Fact. Fleming gave your tax dollars to Barack Obama to protect sanctuary cities and block the deportation of illegals. Fact. Fleming lied about his job with President Trump. Lie after lie after lie. John Fleming is a fraud who cannot be trusted. Visit FlemingIsAFraud.com. Accountability Project paid for and is responsible for this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. AccountabilityProject.la.
Blended families, bonus children, and co-parenting can bring amazing experiences, but it can also be overwhelming and complicate your estate plan. How can families navigate the process when entering into this wonderful journey? I'm George Fine with Fine Legal Services. When it comes to your family's questions, our team can make planning for the future seamless and transparent. Call your Alexandria, Louisiana attorneys, George Fine and Jeremy Cedars, at 318-767-2226 to learn more, or visit fine-lawyers.com.
LSBA number LA2316294.
970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYL. To take part in the show, call 442-8255. That's 442-TALK back.
All right, we are back. Al and Stephen with you on your Wednesday morning. 318-442-8255, our number on the VOM Bank Talk Line. Let's go to the phones. Good morning. You're on Talkback.
Good morning, guys. This is Brendan Dubrock, the campaign manager for Dr. John Fleming. How are you guys doing?
Brendan, how's it going?
Man, we are on the road talking to people, and basically, I wanted to call in and talk about some of these attack ads, like the one I just heard about the lawsuits, because I was actually in the court, and I can tell everybody what happened with that. Dr. Fleming did not lie. The judge ruled because I used the word liberal let low lies. He says that then it's the PAC, it's Landry Letlow's accountability PAC. The judge basically said that, hey, you can't use the word lie. You could criticize whatever, but the PACs have what's called political freedom of speech. They can say whatever they want, use whatever they want. So we actually had already ran those ads. They were taken down. Governor Landry's personal attorney, Stephen Gillette, took us to court. I was in court for 9 hours one day in St. Tammany Parish, and we settled. And we said, okay, we'll remove the word, the liberal let low lie from our ad, and they were happy with it. So that is the only thing about the case. It was our ad in defense to what they've been putting out about the open border policy, about the bus ad, about him wanting to bring illegal immigrants to our country. So I want to address that border support that they're saying. Well, they're trying to go off of people's fears of what the Biden administration did. We all remember those pictures of the mass migration coming across. But during that time that Dr. Fleming was in Congress, we had the Defense Fund, and he did make a vote against an amendment that would have purchased helicopters for the National Guard to fly down the Rio Grande. But what they also went was, why he didn't want to spend those monies on that, we were in the Iraq War and Afghanistan War. And we all remember those images of our military soldiers and the active military they're fighting. The Humvees, the armored vehicles, were not armored to full scale. They were having to rob parts to put on these Humvees. And he said, no, we can't spend the money on these helicopters right now. We need to protect our active military. So when it comes to the bus ad of him wanting to bus over illegal immigrants, they cut that part off, but he's talking about helping our farmers in ag with harvest. Right now, with today's inflation, my family farms, as a lot of people know, they have over 2,000 tillable acres. I have cattle, pigs. They're spending $15,000 a year to get those workers here. And so he was trying to bring a point to helping ag get those workers here, because I can testify and that I speak to farmers all the time. We get workers that by law, we're required to run those ads of help wanted ads for 2 months. And we have people show up, but during harvest season, then they see how hard it is and the life of a farmer, and they quit. They don't show up. However, the H-2-1 visa workers, the ag workers, they come here from Honduras and different places. They come here for 6 months. And, hey, when it's a hurricane coming, we got to get those sugarcane crops out. We've got to get that stuff out so they're reliable workers. But our farmers are having to go to New Orleans. They're having to hire attorneys, pay the attorney's fees, pay all the processing fees, pay for their airfare, pay for their transportation, pay for their housing. And people go, well, pay us more. But even though they pay them more and we pay them $25 an hour, they don't want to work from daylight to 10 o'clock at night or when a hurricane's coming, and you got to work 24/7. So a lot of these ads where he's tied to Fauci and Pence, and yes, he was on the COVID task force. Yes, Trump put him in there. Yes, he was Trump's deputy chief of staff for the last 10 months. He moved up in the administration every step of the way. So unfortunately, the judge basically said, hey, Brendan, take out the lie word, because it's technically not Letlow saying it. It's her PAC, and these PACs are protected under the First Amendment. And it's unfortunate that they're doing that because it's really confusing the public, and we want people to look at the voting record. So we're having to spend a ton of money, and Dr. Fleming's now doing these live videos, these selfie videos on Fleming for Louisiana on Facebook to try to tell people the truth that this is what's going on, because they're outspending us. They spent $1.2 million last week. We have a thing that's called it's an app, Spend Tracker, and you can see what the candidates in their PAC spend. Just the 2 weeks leading up to the last the primary, they spent close to $1.5 million. So Dr. Fleming is pride. He's very proud that he's self-funding his campaign. So we're trying to get the word out that these attack ads are completely false, and so I just wanted to call in and talk about that. If y'all have any questions, please ask.
Yeah. No, I'm appreciate that you called for sure. When I heard this latest one, I thought the initial round of attack ads were in bad taste. Like, these even ramp it up further. It's highly disappointing to me knowing the people that are kind of associated or involved there. And it has to be disappointing to you too, because I know you've had a past working with Julia and her husband. So to see it kind of go to this direction, to me, just, it reeks of politics, of course, but it's more almost of a desperation to win an office at all costs. And that's just very unsettling to me that someone would go to those lengths just to win. But I guess I'm being naive in saying that.
No, we are hearing that across the state, that you could go to the Secretary of State's website. You could look up MAGA Energy. You could look up Accountability Project. You could see who their chief officers are, and it's directly tied to Governor Landry, who we helped get elect. Yeah. And it's bizarre what's going on within our own party. I will say that. It's heartbreaking because me personally, being involved in politics so long, and knowing Luke would have never done this. Luke would have never done this. And Ralph Abraham would have never done this. I'm not saying that Ralph is behind this. He's not. He's taken a back door to it. But we all remember whenever Eddie Rispone started attacking Abraham. And I told his campaign manager, I said, do not go after Doc Abraham. It will hurt the party. Sure enough, it did. And then we had Bell Edwards. So, I mean, I'm beyond words right now that what we fought for during the Obama administration, him being a founding father of the House Freedom Caucus with Ron DeSantis, Jim Powers, those guys that fought against Boehner, and we call them, that's when the Rhino term really kicked off. Mm-hmm. They set up the MAGA movement for Trump. They kind of got that going, but Trump was the face of it. And everything that we stood for and we stand for today, I'm baffled that this is being allowed by the Let Low campaign and our governor to do these attack ads on a Republican as strong, as conservative, with Christian moral values as Dr. Fleming. It's shocking. And for them to spend that much money. And we think it also goes back to, Governor Landry and Dr. Fleming, they served in Congress together. And there was some disagreements on some issues in Congress that I'm going to say Fleming didn't like some of Jeff's votes. He says that's way left-leaning. And that's whenever they started having their disagreements. So it's unfortunate because I don't want to see our party divided and hurt like this, but we are going through growing pains because this is a closed primary. And so right now we're the guinea pigs of this. So it worries me that if we don't get a grip on some of these ads, it could destroy us as a state. whenever we need to be unified.
Yeah. No, I find it very unfortunate, very distasteful, and I've said it on the show before. It makes me completely not want to vote for the person who's associated with that. And it's very disappointing when you think about the governor's connection to that, and then for Representative Letlow to allow it to continue, to me, just kind of speaks volumes. And that's just me. Others might feel differently, but I don't know. It really sucks. That's all I can basically say. So,
yeah.
Anyway, well, we appreciate you calling in.
Thank you, guys.
Yes, sir. All right.
And if anybody has any questions, they can contact me, contact our campaign phone, our website, and we'll answer any of those questions and explain that it's just not true.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Brendan. Appreciate it.
Talkback, Central Louisiana's longest-running talk show, is now everywhere you are. Talkback is now streaming live on X at Sedla Update, plus Facebook and YouTube at KSYL.
Warmer weather is finally here, and that means cookouts,
Ball games.
and maybe enjoying some time on the water.
But it also means lots of heavy food, sweets, and maybe an extra adult beverage or two. Thank goodness we both take Active Liver from New Nordic. Did you know your liver works around the clock processing food, sugar, alcohol, and everyday toxins? All the things that can really impact your health.
That's why daily support matters. Active Liver is designed to protect normal liver function and support your body's natural detox process.
With trusted natural ingredients like milk thistle, turmeric, and artichoke extract, it's gentle enough to take all year long.
No harsh cleanses, no extreme detoxes, just simple daily liver support. We really feel the difference.
Active Liver helps us enjoy the good things in life with peace of mind that our liver isn't working overtime. Active Liver is available online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com, and you can find it in stores at CVS, Meijer Grocery, Wegmans, and now Active Liver is available at your local GNC.
Finding the right catering service with the right menu can be overwhelming. When it comes to catering, you should always serve Louisiana's best, Cole's Barbecue and Steakhouse. Cole's Barbecue and Steakhouse has all chef-prepared and freshly served food for you and your guests. Let it be special. Let Cole's cater your next event or family gathering. Call 613-8800 or visit colesbbq.com for their catering menu.
So Ryan and I came to the decision to get life insurance when I was pregnant with our first son. He really wanted us to be taken care of if something happened to him. He provided for our family in life and also after his death. I think that would make him proud. Ethos makes it fast and easy to get life insurance. Apply in minutes and get same-day coverage.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/save. That's ethos.com/save. Paid testimonial. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
It's Talkback, 970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO.
All right, we're back. Last segment of the morning. Let's go to the phones again. Good morning. You're on Talkback.
Well, I just happened to catch the last segment, and I can truly say that there is no way that I would ever vote for Miss Letlow unless she completely disavows those attack ads. And that means that I would not vote for her if she's a candidate in the general election if she refuses to repudiate those attack ads.
I wonder how many people feel like you do, though, or how many people are aware, because obviously we have a pretty astute audience here, people that listen as we discuss these matters, but will the general voter across Louisiana even know or care about this as much as just hearing, oh, President Trump supports her?
I would agree with you. I would like to be pleasantly surprised by Mr. Fleming winning, but I'm going to go vote. My wife's going to vote. We're not going to vote for Miss Letlow. We suspect that she will be elected.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for the call. And let's go to another one. Good morning. You're on Talkback.
Good morning.
Morning.
You know, it's obvious that our state Republican party is pretty sad. Case in point, you know, you run in a local election against Democrats that are sitting in office and been in office for 25 or 30 years, and you run as a Republican. And then the Republican Party goes behind your back and tells the Democrats, you know, hey, we're going to support y'all if you promise to switch parties, you know, during, you know, the next year. And they get in line step, and they do. You know, they switch over. And now that's your local politics. So, I mean, it's kind of pointless and useless because you can't fight against that. And you can't tell me that they're not all in that Republican local party. They're not all like that because nobody steps forward and tries to clean that up. So they're all in lockstep with all that nefarious stuff that's going on. And I think it's sad. It's sad for the people around here. I mean, 90% of the people don't know what's going on. You know, we've done got so many people that's in there that, I mean, the only reason they're in the party is to gain power, you know, and they're riding on a Trump coattail, you know, and that's all it is. And it's sad because if Letlow gets in there, I mean, she doesn't have any power whatsoever. I mean, she owes so many people or is going to. You know, she's powerless at that point, and she's probably brainwashed or whatever you call it, indoctrinated so bad that, I mean, if there was a small bit of right left in her, I mean, I'm sure that's gone too. I mean, it's just shows you how the times of what times we live in, you know?
Yeah, it certainly seems like it's all about winning, which obviously it's about winning, but I mean, it's the way that you win. You know what I'm saying? Like kind of the old, it's not whether you win or lose, it's how you play the game. I mean, it feels like
it's that old backroom politics, you know?
Yeah, it's
just like it's been for the last 100 years in Louisiana.
Right. It's just
across the
name
state,
the name of the party has changed. Yeah. Yeah.
That's exactly right. I mean, and they're doing it to everybody. I mean, you just look at the stuff that they're allowing to come into the state, you know?
Yeah.
And the way they're doing this, it's supposed to be so good for everybody, but obviously it's not, or they, you know.
Well, we got the music. We got the music playing. I gotta cut you off. We're out of time. Thank you for the call, though. Thank you guys for your thoughts on that, and I'm sure we'll talk more about it between now and June 27th. Hey, it'll be Nathan and Steven tomorrow. They'll have a preview of that forum that's coming up in Pineville tomorrow night on carbon capture. So tune in tomorrow on Talkback.
You've been listening to Talkback. The opinions expressed were those of the hosts and callers, and not necessarily those of Cenla Broadcasting.